everyone! Welcome back to Jackie's Picks. Today, I'm going to show you the Imhotep family, starting with the base game Imhotep, Builder of Egypt, the expansion Imhotep, A New Dynasty, and the baby two-player game Imhotep, the Duel. All three of these games are designed by Phil Walker Harding and published by KOSMOS. Let's begin with the base game. In Imhotep, Builder of Egypt, the players take on the roles of ancient Egyptian architects. Over 6 rounds, they try to transport their stone blocks to end up in the most valuable positions at 5 construction sites: market, pyramid, temple, burial chamber, and obelisk. Each turn, players can choose one of 3 actions. Excavate up to 3 stone blocks from the quarry and put it in their supply. Load a block from their supply onto any available spaces on the ship. Or move a ship to any of the 5 locations if it has met the minimum capacity requirement. The blocks are unloaded in order and placed on these locations in a preset sequence. Each location modular board is 2-sided so that players can mix and match. Depending on where the blocks end up, players earn different points, either immediately or at the end of the game. In the Imhotep A New Dynasty expansion, 2 more variants of each of the 5 locations are added. You now have the potential to get 2 action cards in the market if you use one of these coin tokens. In the new pyramid locations, you can use these new scaffold tokens, and they offer various points, cards, and free excavated blocks as rewards. On the D side of the temple, players can now race their chariots around with these new meeples. At the burial chamber, tomb spaces are now numbered if you use the east side, which makes scoring in this side easier and a bit more random. If you like polynomial tiles, you can use the C side of the obelisk location and use these tiles to make your own obelisk. The new expansion also includes 7 God cards, which allow players to set goals for themselves using these scare tokens. Players will either gain points at the end of the game if they're able to fulfill their prophecy, or lose points if they fail to complete the task they set for themselves. 14 new market cards are also included in this expansion. It is very likely that your blocks are not going to the destinations of your first choice. So every action you take in this game must be highly tactical, because you have to weigh all your options, especially in a full game. In general, it's more beneficial to place the block on the ship rather than to sell the ship, because all the blocks you place will score you something. That being said, when one of your opponent is poised to gain lots of points if they sail a ship right after you, then you kinda have to take the sail ship action to minimize the damage. When visiting the market, the green ornament cards are usually my first choice, especially when I'm playing a full game, since there are 3 other players essentially helping me out. In a 2-player game, some of the blue action cards, such as sail and lever, can be very effective towards the end of the game. But if you're using the God cards from the expansion and have set a specific goal for yourself, such as Prophecy of the Amun or Prophecy of Seth, then you'll be pursuing the red cards and purple cards when you're visiting the market. One last thing to keep in mind when you're playing the expansion is that there are more ways to gain blocks from the quarry with cards such as Private Quarry and the scaffold tokens. So, avoid taking that excavation action unless you absolutely have to. That way, you won't miss out on any bonuses. The rules of Imhotep, Builder of Egypt is easy to learn and to teach. Once everyone understands the set collection and area majority mechanic of the game, it can get tactical and political very quickly. So depending on how you want to play, you can be very nice with each other or absolutely ruthless. So to me, it's a game that players at all levels can enjoy. The building theme blends seamlessly with the mechanics. And personally, I enjoy using these blocks and make 3D structures. The expansion, Imhotep A New Dynasty, adds more variety, complexity, and replayability to the base game. And that's why Imhotep is one of my picks. So now, bonus content. Let's check out Imhotep the Duel. It's easy to see the similarities between Imhotep, Builder of Egypt, and Imhotep the Duel. There are 4 locations in this game instead of 5, and players are still going to have a hard time deciding when to sell a ship. On a player's turn, they can place a worker on one of the 9 available spots on the harbor board, or they could unload a barge if at least 2 workers are situated at the corresponding rows or columns. If they have any action tokens they gained from previous rounds, they could also choose to play one of these as their action. When a barge is unloaded, players remove their workers from the board one by one and take the tiles in order. Unclaimed tiles are removed from the game, and new tiles are loaded onto the barge. Players take these tiles and place them on the corresponding locations, either the obelisk, the temple, the pyramid, or the tomb. These modular boards are also 2-sided, just like the ones in Imhotep. If there are no more tiles left to fill in an empty barge, it is removed from the game, and the game ends immediately when there's only 1 barge left. Unlike the base game, all points are scored at the end of the game. Just like its predecessor, players can choose to be gentle or vicious towards each other when playing Imhotep the Duel. Personally, I find it really enjoyable and just the right length and weight for a 2-player strategy game. The fact that it's easy to set up and clean up is a plus, so I definitely recommend checking this one out too as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!